You can sing this next song about anything at all.
Welcome, any and all, the Friday edition of our show, Dreaming in Paradox. I am at John in Paradox. No, I'm John Olsen.
Yes.
I don't know.
You're not at.
I am John Olsen at John in Paradox.
And I am your host, Jose Venutolo.
Yeah, I was doing good all week.
Yeah, I know.
Just,
At some
It's
point.
been a long week.
yeah,
with
at
me.
some point.
Long week with
That's why
both
I'm
of
going
us.
shades.
Blame it on Papa Piccione.
Yeah,
And
just
this
blame
is-
it on me.
This is Papa Piccioni,
Papa Piccione.
Chris Piccioni.
Piccione.
Pigeon.
Oh, I finally got to say it.
Mr. Pigeon.
So we are at Friday, guys.
We're
It's
Friday.
been a long
Our
week.
Friday.
Jose,
Everyone
you,
loves
for the
Fridays.
first time, you have the Friday topic.
Yes, I have the Friday topics. And the Friday topic is gonna be...
Is it going to be a good
It's
one?
gonna be about movies.
Ooh.
Oh, we're going
But-
going to movies,
Did-
but
we already touched
I
on
wanna know...
it.
we can touch movies.
movies
all day
are...
long.
Movies...
Just like this.
Caress the movies.
Caress the movies.
Are you a movie?
I'm a movie.
You are a movie. So, movies show us things that in reality cannot happen.
Yeah.
Or at least something.
Yeah.
So I want to know what is the craziest thing, mostly in action, the craziest thing that you have seen in a movie that you go like, I know that's not real, but I love the fact that I get to see it in a movie.
Ooh, can I go first?
Yes, of course you can
Just
go first.
because I recently saw it. Chris Pratt taming velociraptors by going like this.
He gets in the mind of the beast.
He gets
right?
in the mind of the beast, yes.
By just going, no, stay back.
Have you
Okay.
seen those
Spoilers.
like memes of?
No,
Oh,
it's not
yeah.
a spoiler.
Of,
It's not really a
like-
spoiler.
There was actually
There's a million of
memes,
them. There's like a bunch of zoo people
yes.
doing it with all the different real animals.
They had,
Oh, really?
They
They
had
did
a
that?
hashtag, and it was like whatever it was, like a zookeeper, like Pratt's or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was all ones like that. People with like kangaroos that are just like this, and they're like,
And there's just
Stay
like
back,
any three
kangaroos.
animals,
You
koalas. like,
haven't
just
seen it yet,
random
have
animals.
you?
I haven't seen
You
it.
haven't seen
Oh,
it.
you gave it
I
away.
See,
just saw it
spoiler
like a
about
week
him.
ago.
You saw it?
Just spoil it
Just
for
saw
him.
it.
Spoil it.
You spoil it for
doesn't
him.
Doesn't spoil the movie.
Doesn't
Well,
spoil
now he
anything.
knows that Chris Pratt will do this in front of
Yeah, it's in the trailer.
Velociraptors.
It's in the trailer, yeah.
so the trailer spoiled it.
I've seen enough spoilers that I'm not, and I don't think that is spoiling it either.
But I definitely think that is one that I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. And I'll do another one just because it was the first one that hit me. The third Terminator movie.
The third Terminator
even though
movie.
most Terminator
Rise of the
movies,
Machine.
you're
Third Terminator
Jesus
movie.
Christ. But
Terminator
the
Rise of
third
the
one,
Machines.
when the chick is driving the crane and Schwarzenegger's hanging off the edge of the crane, getting
it's just
slammed
like-
into buildings like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
crazy. I don't know.
It's pretty cool.
I think even if you're like an indestructible robot, like some shit might happen to you.
Yeah,
Like,
right,
it could
like-
be.
It could. Definitely, took it there. Do you want to take the next one?
Craziest things I've seen. I had so many crazy things. Have I
Name
seen?
them all.
Name them all.
Name them all.
Name two.
Or
One.
pick one that is like, I don't think anybody, like, because I have one that I feel that no movie I have seen have beaten.
Know that no movie has beaten.
In your perspective, of course.
What's like the craziest thing? Without parameters, it's kind of crazy. I mean, I've seen worlds get destroyed.
A world getting
I've seen.
destroyed.
I mean, and if we're talking world destruction, the one in the the reboot Star Trek movie, Star Trek,
Haven't
where
seen
Oh, and Vulcan gets
spoiler alert, Vulcan gets destroyed.
Spoiler
The
alert.
way it implodes, and it's pretty cool looking. I mean, it's not cool for
But
those
out
fictional
of the
characters.
realm of possibility, though.
That I mean, like out
Would
of the
it
realm of
really
possibility.
happen?
Yeah, like I consider that a little ridiculous.
Okay.
I mean, is there theoretical tag like a little mini black hole? I guess.
I mean, a black hole is always cool.
Implode the world. So like how unrealistic do I have to be? Because, like, is that less than Taming Velociraptor?
I don't know.
Destroying a planet.
I mean, you know, I've seen a few of the Fast and Furious movies also. Talk about physics defying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, they do some stuff in
Did
those.
you see the most recent one?
I haven't seen the most recent
I
one.
have.
I need to see it.
Either.
They do. I know
It's
they
not
do
really
the
a
skyscraper
spoiler
jump,
because
right?
they show it in the trailers.
Yeah.
But yeah, like driving out of a skyscraper and while it's falling, driving down the skyscraper.
Well, in Fast 5,
Really?
in Fast 5, which is, I mean, it's of the ones I've seen, it's the best.
Yeah.
And it was the Resurgent movie, where they're driving through the city and they've got the vault on the back of the truck, and the vault is just like destroying
Flying
buildings
around,
and slamming,
yeah,
and like
they're still driving
the
perfectly
plausibility of being able to drag that thing around is just so. It's so beyond reality and beyond physics. I mean, that game is like that's just kids playing with Hot Wheels. And like, let's make a movie of like what we used to do with Hot Wheels.
Yeah, pretty much.
Dude,
Yeah.
sometimes they actually do it for real. Like very few times a stunt is actually real, but very few.
But
times.
it's always exaggerated.
It is
Even then.
exaggerated, but
they
you know,
exaggerate it.
Well, they also soup up the cars. Like they rebuild the chassis.
Yeah,
they do all these
yeah,
crazy
yeah. But
things,
still-
you
still
know?
they
But like
managed
that
to do
vault
certain things.
had to weigh like it was almost as big as the room we are in, and like thick feet worth of steel. Like it would be so
Yeah.
unfathomably heavy for like even I don't care how souped up those cars is. Like that's pretty unbelievable and spectacular. So that's a good one
Yeah, I'll give you
from
that.
recent memory.
There is one of the Bond movies. I don't remember which one, but I think it was one when still Sean Connery was James Bond.
He does a lot of things in those
But
Bond
they
movies.
have a scene where a car goes on a ramp that goes like this, and then it jumps and it goes into another ramp. And I believe they actually they
you know which
they
one
rigged the
this
car.
is?
I don't know which one is. I don't know which one is.
gotta be
But
careful throwing out that
my favorite and the thing that I've yet to see something that I feel it's more like, holy fuck, this is just crazy. It was it was in the opening of GoldenEye. Where
The GoldenEye opening is
GoldenEye opening,
one of the greatest
it's-
movie openings.
It's like the action sequence because to me, like he's escaping this Russian complex,
Yeah. Have
and
you
then
seen
it's-
GoldenEye?
you've seen GoldenEye, and do you remember like there was an airplane, propeller airplane
Yeah.
on the runway, and then he gets for some reason the airplane gets started and he shoots the pilot or
It's
something
going
like that.
without him, yeah.
And then it's going,
It's
and
falling.
then he's like, I got Russians behind me. The airplane is already gone. So he jumps in a motorcycle. The airplane goes down the cliff, and then he just jumps with a motorcycle. Air flies, goes inside the airplane, and then takes it off before. And I go like, I've never seen any scene in a movie that has astonished me as much as that one.
That one did blow me away
It was crazy.
as a kid seeing that.
And I believe that James Bond movies, they wanna open always with a high-speed chase or some kind of thing where there's a stunt. Like in the second one that he did, the
Yeah.
Pierce Brosnan did, there was a thing where he just flies one of these fighter jets like on top of another one, and I go like, that's not as impressive as you did before.
No.
And then I've seen many other
It's
things.
hard to top. That
It's
one.
hard to top. It's like
Even the new ones with Daniel Craig, like in Skyfall and Quantum of Solace, they all have like insane
it always
15-minute
opens.
openers.
It always opens with something like that, but I've never seen anything
Chris Columbus,
as
right?
insane as that.
Are those Chris Columbus? No. I'm sorry. What's the director? Who directed
Oh, the gold, which the
GoldenEye.
new one? The GoldenEye?
GoldenEye?
I don't know. Let's see.
Like I can't believe. Yeah, I named the Harry Potter director.
You
First-
named the Harry
first
Potter director.
No, it's he also did the disastrous Green Lantern movie.
Oh yeah.
But which I was excited for because of him before that. But he did GoldenEye and he also did Casino Royale.
Casino Royale.
So he rebooted Bond twice.
Martin Campbell.
Martin Campbell. So Martin Campbell rebooted Bond twice. And what's cool about his two Bond movies is like in GoldenEye, it has like the most over-the-top explosive opening of possibly any Bond movie. And then in Casino Royale, it's like the opposite.
Yeah.
It's the most low-key. Like it's just like his first kill.
Yeah.
It's just
Yes.
like, and it's like done in that like different style, and it's like black and white and kind of gritty. it's really interesting. He was like, okay, I already went over the top with it.
Yes.
Now let me
Scale
understate.
Scale it back a
Let me
little
understate.
bit. And
Keep
see
like
what
the
I can do.
pressure that a director has to have is get hired to direct something in Star Wars or Star Trek or James Bond.
I can
And
imagine, but
it's crazy. But, like you have crazy things that you have seen in movies. Like if you go and then taking it back a couple of years, a couple of decades. Like you have Doctor Strangelove, where there's a guy riding a nuclear bomb being dropped on a city.
Yeah.
That is pretty rad. That's like
It's
like
pretty
this is
crazy.
the kind of thing that when you go to a movie, you go like, I want to see something that would never happen in real life, and then those are perfect examples of things that are like way beyond that.
Yeah, anything that
that
would
grasp.
ever happen. Yeah.
I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, you have like Terminator is a good example of those. Like so many things in Terminator, like time traveling and all this stuff. But I'm most interested in stunts like
In
that. Like
stunts like that,
like
yeah.
stunts.
things that
stunts.
sort of.
But that was still a stunt on a crane and crashing it through buildings.
Yeah,
and,
of course,
and all
of
the
course.
other
The
stuff.
kind of things like the defying physics to that extent. It just blows my mind.
Yeah.
It blows my mind.
I was trying to think of some.
I know.
I'm trying to think of other ones that compare to that, because like,
yeah,
as
but
far
it's-
as impressive stunts go, I mean, you have a lot of movies that do this one-upmanship thing. We just recently saw the new Mission Impossible,
yes,
and like that's definitely a movie that, like all those movies are all about one-upmanship of
Yeah.
themselves.
yeah.
Each one tries to be crazier than the last. And of course, Mr. Cruise has to like do all his own stunts.
That's
or
why they
whatever.
poster. I mean, there are things they always try. Some movies they always try, and they put it on the trailers. Like remember the first Mission Impossible had him on a cliff, and he just.
Second. That's the second one.
Oh, is that the second one when he jumps to the other cliff?
Mhm.
But that was also like, whoa! You're watching that. You go like,
Yeah, because he's
that's-
like 200 feet up.
Exactly. It's like who does that?
Yeah.
Who just freaking decides?
With
Just
no
like,
go.
that looks better. I'm gonna just jump over there.
Thrill
I'm
seeker.
like ninja.
You gotta get out. You gotta
You
get
gotta-
out.
you gotta get out, you gotta get
gotta
out.
do what
Like,
you gotta
it's
do
just
to get
oh,
out.
oh, John Woo.
I mean, maybe
There should have been doves.
There should be.
Doves fly
There
by.
should have been. Maybe if we were Jackie Chan fans, like as
I am
Vidal,
a
as
Jackie
Vidal is,
Chan
then
fan.
yeah, no, but maybe some of the great.
But you were
crazy-
talking
crazy
about
stuff.
like things that defy reality.
yes,
And like Jackie Chan does things largely within the realm of reality.
possibility.
Yeah, it's like always to the extreme of what's possible.
Yeah.
But it's like on
It's
the
still
edge
possible, yeah.
of it's still possible. But then it's like then there's a line that you cross.
Yes.
The realm of
exactly.
impossible, which is
There's always that
which is
line.
pretty common. It's a pretty common thing that's.
It's a
spoken.
common thing. It's a common thing in movies, especially I mean in action movies. Mostly, I mean, if we have to answer this, it has to go to action films. It has to go to films that deal with those kind of things.
with crazy stunts and just absolutely wild. I'm trying to think if there's another one. There's got to be another one that's like
I just think that sometimes,
mind-bending.
yeah, if you
because
start
there's
with
plenty
the
of
big
times
ones,
you watch a movie and you're like,
you be like, whoa,
come on, man,
What
like,
do you do?
really? Perfect one. Transporter. Have you ever seen the Jason Statham Transporter?
first
I've
The
seen
original?
the original Transporter.
I think it's the first one. It might be the second one, but where somebody has like a bomb attached
I
underneath
thought of
the
this one,
car,
actually. This one
and
did
he
pop in my
drives
head.
off a ramp like over the water.
It does.
And hits like a car goes like this.
Yeah.
And then there's like a crane,
And it
so the
knocks
bomb
the
like
bomb
gets knocked off by the crane, and then the car finishes flipping and lands on the other side
That's
of the
not
dock.
the first one. It's either.
It might be the second one.
I think.
I think it's the
And then
second
he
one.
just keeps driving like after bad guys, and you're like, what?
I
You're
just
like,
I just
how? Nobody could calculate.
And this just made me think of another one, Crank and Crank 2.
It was Statham.
In Crank
Statham
2?
also.
I didn't see
yeah.
Crank 2.
Crank 1 would be,
Crank
I
is
guess,
an awesome
fairly
Outrageous.
It's realistic.
Oh yeah, I mean
Like, you
the
can
premise
have
is a little
something, like,
outrageous,
killing
but
you.
yeah.
But then the second one, it's like they pull out his unstoppable heart and
Yeah.
put something else in there,
Yeah,
and he's got to
battery.
keep zapping himself with electricity to keep going. And it's like the movies are amazing; they're so
They're
much
great.
fun.
They are
But
great
I'm like,
movies.
I don't know. I think that's a little bit out of the realm of possibility. Like you got to keep jabbing yourself with electricity,
or a lot of bit
Well,
out of the
yeah.
realm of possibility.
like maybe once, and you're like, oh, my heart's going again. But
Yeah.
then you've got to
But
keep
you
doing
know,
it.
those movies work because they lean into it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we know it's ridiculous. let's just
go
push
with
on it.
Let's just
even
go with
more.
it. Yeah.
Let's just leave that there. You know, like in the transporter, like there's, I think in the first one, somebody shoots a bazooka into his house, and he takes a pen, like a not pen, like those flat things that you could cookies on.
Yeah.
And he deflects it. The thing just goes and he just does like this,
that
and
was the first
and
one.
then the thing just he deflects it outside of the window, and I go like, if it was only that,
It would have been exploded.
it would have been like, you know,
That was the first one.
But it's like I saw that, I go like, you know what, I'm gonna eat it, and then
Okay,
just like keep
I
going.
thought of one. In True Lies, there's a scene where Jamie Lee Curtis has the Uzi and she drops it.
Oh, and it keeps
and it tumbles
firing
down
and
the
it's
stairs.
going down
It kills
the
And
stairs.
it kills all the bad guys.
Yeah.
And it's like the most ridiculous
Yeah,
thing
I
that's
remember that.
ever been shot.
But it's just great. I mean, and when they're kissing, and then the atomic bomb just like blows.
Yeah, I mean,
that
that movie's
that's
cool.
awesome. That's, I mean,
Yeah.
I love True Lies. True Lies is just.
Or the horse going through like into the elevator, going
Yeah.
up different floors.
I love the
like,
scene where he's like gonna jump the
horse,
roof,
yeah.
the horse from one roof to another, and you're just as the audience you're going,
He's
no,
gonna do it.
No,
He's really
this
gonna
is
do it.
ridiculous. Like no, and the horse just stops and it just flips him over the side of the building. It's so good.
Yeah, I love that movie. That's a classic.
You seen Kung Fury? Like that video that is like, I thought like another one that.
Chris introduced us to Kung Fu.
Yeah, it's true.
A long time ago, when it was still on Kickstarter, you
Yeah.
showed us the Kickstarter.
The
video.
trailer. I love it, that trailer in that movie. When he gets cold and then he just jumps with the car and then gets off the car on top of the car
Yeah, and
as the car is,
starts
and then he starts like
firing.
firing and then he kills everybody and the thing just lands. It's
Well,
just like,
that's what's so great about Kung Fury is like it's just complete 80s over the top
Hashtag Kung
cheesy.
Fury.
You know how
That's
horrible.
not a fun hashtag.
Kung Fury.
how horrible it is, but it's so amazing. And he got it into Cannes.
Oh,
Or
really?
Cannes, whatever you want to say. And I think our studio picked it up and they're making it a full-length picture.
Of course they are. Of course they are. Like that.
What?
is
What?
amazing.
Kung Fury?
So crazy. I mean,
It's weird. I thought, I thought that's what the Kickstarter was for. It was for a feature like, and then it was like 40 minutes.
I don't even think it was that. I think it was
Was
like
it even that?
25. Yeah.
Oh wow, not even half hour.
Yeah. That's all it was.
Yeah, it was kind of a longer short film.
Yeah.
Because he was already making it and he ran out of money. And then he wanted to keep making
wanted
it,
to
so
finish.
he did
I
more.
wonder if you can actually take a movie like that and make it into a feature successfully, because they tried to do that with Captain Sky and the War of Tomorrow, because it was a
That's
single.
different.
You think so? You think
Tonally, it's a lot different.
I mean, it's just it's
Cap-
CGI.
Sky
it's
Captain
heavy
is CGI, but like, but that's not. There's lots of movies that are nothing but CGI. Like 300
Yeah.
is nothing but CGI.
True.
Like it's all green screen, all CGI.
True, but they're serious plots.
Yeah. Whereas Kung Fury is.
It's just silly.
Ridiculous.
It's just
Yeah.
it's
But
just
it's
The Sky
fun.
Captain is
silly.
serious.
But it's fun.
Yeah.
I know.
And he knows what he's doing, and he even went to the extent of getting David Hasselhoff to sing
know,
the
that's
theme
true.
song.
That's
you know?
awesome.
Like,
I mean, I think it could work. We've got really good spoof
one
movies.
will
The
probably
airplanes.
happen. Yeah, is they'll do one, it will probably blow up. They'll go for a second one. The second one will bomb, and then they'll go, "We're not making these anymore." Like that's probably what will happen.
People are gonna go see them. It's like Kung Pao should have a sequel.
I mean, I hope that guy blows up over it because
I
he
think
deserves
he
it.
will. I
He
think
deserves
will.
it.
'Cause he
Clearly,
did it all himself.
He did it all himself. He's funny in the movie. Like he knows how to play the character that he's
Yeah.
playing. It's super silly. Like when he's on the phone, he's just like, whatever.
Yeah,
He just runs out of his
all
house.
dubbed out. Yeah, yep, absolutely awesome.
I found out that the scenes on the when he goes back to the station and then the captain's yelling at him is so. It feels
like an 80s movie.
like an 80s
Yeah.
movie. That's whatever.
He's got like
happened
his
to those 80s
animal
movies?
part, the Triceratops, right?
Yeah,
The Triceratops partner.
Triceratops.
Triceratops.
Triceratops. That's awesome. I mean, it just reminds me of like good old-fashioned movies like Tango and Cash,
Yeah.
who are full of these kind of things. They're full. I mean, yes, they have an armored car and everything, whatever you want, but they are full of this kind of stuff.
You know who played Hitler in that, right?
No.
You know the like parody music group Lonely Island.
Yeah.
Andy Samberg and the
Yeah.
other dude.
Yeah.
The other dude is Hitler.
Oh, Yorma?
Yama.
Yeah, Yorma.
Oh, really?
I love Lonely Island.
He plays Hitler.
They're great.
He did like Kung Fury.
Yeah, Kung
Kung
Fuhrer.
Fuhrer.
Really? Now I want
him.
to watch it again.
Yeah, I
It's
want to watch
like-
it again.
He did a
It's
lot
like,
I didn't
of
recognize
makeup.
him. Yeah,
a
it's-
lot of makeup.
It
You
looks
don't
really
know it's
different.
him.
it looks like Hitler.
But they said they loved his interpretation of like how he just played Hitler, and they were like,
Yeah.
"Fuck it, you got it," which is awesome. You know, good for that
I
guy.
saw a picture the other day online. It was a picture of Hitler next to a picture of Hitler without the mustache, and it was so different. It was like if you
Yeah,
see
you
him,
just like all you see after a while.
It's just a
It
mustache.
became so iconic.
it's so iconic. Like if you give him a different
That
haircut,
and then like the comb over.
you give
the
him a different
pullover.
haircut and you take the mustache away, and you could be looking at the guy and you go like, you look familiar, but I have no idea who you are. Like, and just like it's that extreme.
This brings me this. You watched Curb Your Enthusiasm, right?
Yeah.
So there was that episode where Hitler came up a lot in the last season with Larry David, and he's like
And I
drawing
haven't seen that
Hitler
one.
mustaches on like all these
Oh
like,
yeah, and
newspaper
then I see
things.
this.
And he's like, "What's wrong with the Hitler mustache? You know, just because of that guy, he ruined that mustache for
Yeah,
everybody."
it's a Chaplin mustache too. Like, it's a
Yeah.
Chaplin
Yeah.
mustache, and then he just ruined it. Like,
Yeah.
like if you see somebody with that mustache, you go to Hitler directly.
Yeah.
The same way that
It's a fine line between Chaplin.
you
and
can
Hitler.
go back into time. Oh, to kill Hitler, like everybody goes there. It's like the
Yeah.
mustache is him, and then going back into time is to kill him. It's just, this guy has monopolized
He was
those two
very
things.
hated, and like you can't name anyone Hitler now.
No, you
like
can't.
that name is off the table.
Yeah, you can't.
It's
I mean,
just-
I mean
Or
that.
Adolf.
Well, that last name.
Adolf. But like the
That
last,
last
name more even than the first name.
Yeah.
Well, but the last name was like it didn't perpetuate it because like first he didn't have any songs that.
I guarantee you, any family living
His
relatives he
sister-
had did not go by it.
His
No.
After
sister,
the
his
war.
sister
No.
probably changed her name,
Yeah.
and if she got married, she got her husband name. But his last name was born and died with him, or born with his father and died with him, because they were Hadler. They were like his father was Hadler, like the Hitler family. His family was last name Hadler.
Hadler?
And Hadler. And then his father, for some reason, he changed it to Hitler. So Hitler
happens.
actually was the first offspring of ever Hitler, and then he died with him also. Like it was like.
But like it seems like the way that names work, and there's so many people. You know, some other people had to have that name. They're like, should we
To change it? Yeah,
Should we
what did
change
you
our
do?
name?
What did you do when that happened? Like, how did you like? You have to change it. You have to just go and like, I can't
You know?
be. I can just. I mean, I can't think of any other last name that will.
That you really have to
Like,
like.
you really
What
have to
about
change.
Stalin? I feel like
Which
even
one?
Stalin.
Stalin.
Yeah.
I don't think people.
Not even Stalin.
No.
Because yeah, it's just like it's so associated with evil.
I
right?
mean,
Like the Hitler
probably.
name
Yeah,
is
Hitler
so
just kinda-
associated with
just
hate
kinda
and evil
takes the cake.
that you can't really top it as far as
I mean,
things
same,
you can't.
Same with Mussolini. Like there
Not
are, but
the
there are
same.
Mussolinis still,
But yeah, that's what
and
I mean,
they
like-
still retain their last names, Mussolini, and then that's it. I
Yeah.
don't know how common it is in Italy or not, but they're like his granddaughter is in the parliament.
But
of
you know
Italy
what?
or
The other reason is like Hitler was such a
Ass.
loud personality. Yes. But he was such a loud personality. Like, you don't see videos of Stalin or Mussolini or, was it Hidehiro?
Hirohito.
Hirohito. You don't see videos of them like you see of Hitler, where he's
Of
just
Hitler,
like
yeah.
going crazy. He's like so into what he's saying. Like, you know, you see him and they look stoic. You know?
He always looks stoic.
Yeah, like
Although
Stalin
I
was
wasn't-
permanently
Genghis
stoic.
Khan.
Sorry,
might
it
be
wasn't
some
Hirohito
aggressive.
because Hirohito was the emperor, but the one who got blamed was his prime minister was Tojo.
Oh, it's okay.
Tojo was the one that they were after.
Mm.
Hideki Tojo, but not Hirohito.
What about Genghis Khan? He was a
Genghis
pretty
Khan.
angry guy.
He was.
But
super
he
angry.
had a
Pretty much was
successful
good.
lineage.
Yes.
In that, like, Genghis Khan then had Kublai. Was Kublai his grandson
No,
or his son?
isn't Kublai
Kublai Khan.
the title? The
No,
Kublai Khan?
Khan
Oh,
became
Kublai,
the title.
Kublai then is a name?
Kublai, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
It was
Kublai
Genghis Khan was the first Khan. He conquered a bunch, but then Kublai Khan really expanded the empire like a lot. That was his, I think, his
It's just,
son.
by today's standard, it's just
Um,
crazy to think that Mongolians once threatened to conquer, like,
I mean,
and
they-
actually conquered, like,
They conquered
huge part of the
the
world.
known world.
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
their known world.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like
Like Khan and Alexander are very similar. But what's crazy about Khan
Yeah,
is that like a large percentage of people on Earth now have the blood of Khan in them because he had so many progeny.
Yeah.
Like the Khans were very prolific
Mhm.
in having children to the point where like it's now in the human DNA essentially.
The gene pool.
It's
Yeah.
it's just like
So-
really out there in the gene
Some
pool.
things in movie, and then this is going back to the question. Some things like, did you see the Alexander movie that
Oliver Stone?
The Oliver Stone. There is one scene in that movie which to me it's kind of like it's kind of a premise shot, even when it's not the premise shot. But it's like he's about to go into India, he's coming into the jungles of
Yeah.
India and stuff, and then he's facing an army that's coming, I don't know which army or something like that. And then
The first Sikhs.
he faces like he comes right in front. He's going with his horse, and then somebody's coming at him, and it's a guy on an elephant. And then both animals see each other, and they see they're gonna collide, and they just stop and go, and the horse goes on two legs, and the elephant does the same, and he has this gorgeous shot of these two animals just basically stopping
Yeah.
in front of him, and it's kind of like, to me it was kind of like, this is the wall that stopped you. This is like how big this empire is, represented by an elephant stopping you. Even when you're great, this thing just goes above you.
This
And
idea of
it's
trying to like
it's
people
a
trying to
really-
conquer the world is so
it's a
crazy.
visual. Like,
They had no idea how big the world really was
Napoleon.
while trying to do it. I mean,
Yes.
lots of people have made the attempt.
who do you think?
right?
Like, do you think somebody's gonna ever achieve
Caesar.
that?
No, I mean, if a one world government happens, it's not going to be
Like conquering?
because someone conquered it all.
It will be by
No.
peace. You think peace
Yeah.
is the answer to conquer
Well, I
the
think
world?
the conquering is a little different than it used to be.
Yeah,
Right now,
it
right
might
now
be.
is.
you know.
Like it might be something that
It's a more
is like
modern
conspiracy theory.
conquering.
Like the modern time of conquering is like, well, banks are going to conquer the world. And they're going to unite us under a single dollar.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's
And
like
then
more
like it'll become a one
modernized.
world economy, and then we'll be forced to yeah, the modern version of conquering the world is very different
It's
than
very
like,
different than how it used to be.
I feel like, yeah,
Like, let's go cut off the heads of these weird people and roll them down the pyramid
And also,
stairs.
is
like,
it sustainable? Can you conquer the world and keep it?
and like, what's the point?
everyone bowing at your feet.
Right? Yeah, right. It was just like all the people. Like, it's not enough that I can
That
go
is
to a
true.
city and everybody in the city will do it. I have to know that all the people in all the cities are doing this.
Yep. Pretty much.
I think
It's
that's-
crazy.
that's just
like
weird.
the
I don't-
megalomania is
It's too much, yeah.
it's
The
astounding.
need to own it all. I mean, I understand the appealing of power. I do not understand. Like, once you have it all, what you gonna do? What you gonna do, Willis?
Yeah, right?
What you gonna do with all that? You know, like you need to have an alter meaning.
I feel
alter
like throughout
agenda.
history, people who've done this do it because they still need something to do. Like you have someone like Suleiman who ruled the Ottomans,
Mhm.
and like he essentially had and exercised ultimate power. But
Yeah.
then it's like once you have ultimate power, what do? Well, you conquer more places, right? Because there was always more places to conquer.
Yeah.
And it's like the idea is that like you can't do it in a lifetime, so you just keep doing it,
Now
right?
you can. Now you like back then you couldn't. Like, and I think that
Clearly now you can't. Like World War II.
I think the technology allows these things to happen. But I feel
There's too
that
many people.
I feel that they
involved.
expand their borders only because this is people that foresee the possibility of an enemy threatening their whatever they have built, and they feel that if they grasp the entire globe, then they can achieve the peace of mind of saying nobody can.
I have no enemies.
No. I have no enemies, so
Right.
so this will stand. This will be. This will like because at the end of the day, like it's just
Yeah,
like
you
it's like
always
you're
have enemies.
fighting a war in order to attain peace. But it's just ludicrous. Because you know,
but-
like when
but
you have
even
too many
if-
moving
even if you
parts.
have peace with everything and everyone, eventually someone's gonna go, no.
Yeah, I mean, then you have the internal struggle. You have all
Stab
that, like,
you.
it's just
Done.
crazy.
And then yeah,
Unless it's aliens who invade us, and then that they achieve war.
would that
domination.
unite the world?
That will unite the world. I think that will
A
unite.
common
the world.
enemy.
Yeah, common.
You
A common
think so?
enemy. I believe that. You know,
Independence
like,
Day. Are you excited about the new Independence Day?
oh, there's a new Independence.
Yeah.
Now I am.
Now you are.
Now I am.
Is Will Smith even in it? I
Will
don't know.
Smith is not in it. Jeff Goldblum is in it.
Oh, really?
Will Smith should have done it. Like,
Should've
why
done
wouldn't?
it,
Like, why wouldn't he?
But it's
'Cause
a
he's
sequel or
doing
it's a reboot?
Suicide Squad. That's why.
Right. I'm so annoyed by him in Suicide Squad.
He's
in
in
the trailer
Suicide
because he's just like, I'm
He's
a good
Will
guy.
Smith.
I'm a good guy.
He's
it's
Will
like
Smith.
you're not playing. Like, aren't you supposed to be
A bad guy.
a bad guy
Yeah.
in Suicide Squad?
Yeah, but he's
And
playing it as a good
He's
guy.
still playing it heroic.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, okay, why'd you even do it? I'm so glad he was. I'm so glad he wasn't Django. I'm so glad he wasn't Django.
Oh yeah.
Like, because it was the rumor
he
for a
was
long
gonna be
time that he
Django.
was
He
going
was
to be.
supposed to
I
be.
don't know how true that ever was. Like, at some point, him and Tarantino did talk. They had like a discussion, and word of that got out and turned into Tarantino wants Will Smith to be Django. But I don't think it was ever like offered to him, officially offered to him. But like when I heard that, I was like, I'm glad he didn't do it because he's just got too goody a reputation for like a more gritty character like
mouth, crazy slave,
Kill Bill Volume 1, when she wears the Enter the Dragon suit and then she kills like 120 henchmen on that before she gets to OMG.
That's so great.
That was a crazy action scene too. That's something like, oh, you don't see this every day. Like she just like took on.
But I think that could essentially be in the realm of possibility.
I don't know, she takes on a lot of people at once.
Yes.
When you got a sword,
and she doesn't
training.
get.
And they all have swords. Maybe not as much training.
She doesn't get sprayed with blood. Also, like she's pretty clean by the end of it.
No, she's pretty messy.
She's pretty messy.
Yeah. She should probably be bloodier.
She
in real life, but she does get pretty messed up.
Some of them, and I love in that.
Oh, you know what? If we're going crazy action sequences, I have to go to The Protector, which has one of the all-time best, where he does it's like a 5-6 minute shot. Have you seen The Protector with Tony Jaa?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, where he's like going after his elephant. It's like Taken with an elephant instead of his daughter.
Okay.
It was the first Taken.
It was the original Taken. And it's like he goes into this building and it's a single tracking shot.
Yeah.
Apparently they did it a whole bunch of times because you can see why.
The
choreograph. He fights like just an endless amount of people going up this sort of spiral walkway in this tower, and he goes up like at least three stories worth. Three or four stories he goes up
before they cut
fighting people the whole way, and like by the end he's clearly exhausted. He's like throwing chairs at people and just like,
whatever he can
just
do.
doing anything, you know.
It's still great, but you're like,
it's just like there's no way anyone has the endurance to really do this. It's one of the most badass displays in cinema.
What about Superman spinning the Earth backwards?
No,
so he turns back time.
I mean, if we're going to comic book movies, everything is so ridiculous.
Oh, that was crazy. I saw that.
That's
and I go
the
like, you know what?
dumbest thing ever. It's just like in no way at all does it make any kind of sense.
It doesn't.
He just spins
the Earth
like
back.
even if you rotate, like changing the Earth's rotation changes time.
Who wrote that? Like,
we can look it up. Blame him.
Oh my god! Like that was crazy.
I don't know if Richard Donner wrote those.
I'm glad it exists. I'm glad I saw it, and I go like, this is too much, but you know, I'm glad somebody made it, put it in a movie, and said this is a serious part of the plot.
That is the most eye-rolling thing
it's a serious part.
Like the rockets going back.
If you're running out of ideas, eventually you just go, fuck it.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell? Let's just make him
I
go
gotta
around
turn the
like
in tomorrow.
Backwards.
See if they like it.
It's crazy.
You gotta submit something.
He's like, yes.
Turns.
You have a deadline. You have a deadline to make. Here you go.
Superman doesn't have enough powers. Let's give him the ability to rewind time.
Yeah.
Right, because he's not super
lasers
enough.
And strength and all that.
Yeah,
shit.
flying, super strength, invincibility, X-ray vision, or frostbite, laser heat vision, like.
Taking
not
off
enough.
his S and throwing it.
Yeah.
Like a cellophane.
True.
S.
Right? True. He can do that thing where he spins and drills into the ground, right? Like, he doesn't have enough. Let's make him turn back time.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, I wonder how, because back then people were not used to these kind of stunts and these kind of things happening. And then I wonder how people will feel in the movie theater when it's like, did she just die? What is gonna happen? Because nobody's thinking like what are he gonna do? And then he just spins back time, and I feel that some people would go like, that's awesome, and some other would be like,
I mean, that movie. I'm
getting out of this movie.
I mean, I'm too young.
How many walked out of the theater during that part?
I'm too young to say for sure, but I think that like that movie blew people's minds. Like the tagline for the original Superman was you will believe a man can fly. Like, they'd never done it anywhere close to that before.
True.
And like, flying is actually one of those things that I think took Hollywood a long time to really make look good. I remember one of the few good things I had to say about the third Matrix movie was that the flying in that movie looked great. I remember when I saw that, I was like, all right, now they should make Superman. Because like now, like, flying, it looks good, it looks natural.
Yeah.
Whereas like, it doesn't look like he's on strings or like he's laying on a
on
pad, on a board,
yeah.
on green screen. Like, it looked like he was actually flying around. Both of them. That fight at the end of the Matrix is so Superman, right?
It is completely. It's super. It's an anime. It's an anime fight.
Yeah.
It's totally. It's a Goku kind of like Dragon Ball and you know, like it's that kind of. It's that kind of.
And
fight.
it's pretty great for that.
It is pretty good. I don't know. It just like I didn't like it that much.
I like.
But it was epic.
If we're gonna talk the Matrix movie, I didn't like the thought behind what was going on in the second two movies. Like, they were just trying too hard. It was like overcomplicating what was a very elegant idea, and like just trying to make it too many things.
More complicated.
Yeah, let's make it more complicated, more deep, and like have it mean all things to all people. And like, instead, it just kind of meant nothing to anybody, you know. But like,
it confused people.
It was needlessly confusing.
Of going, wait, what is this? So they're in reality now? They're in the computer now?
Yeah, like, why does he need to do
what's
this?
going on?
Like the loops that they had you go through in order to get to the big climactic battle were just too many. But like, I mean, they do know how to film an action scene.
Yeah.
And like,
another scene that I found fascinating. I mean, this is just things that I saw movies and go like, thank you. I never thought about.
Yeah, like the first time you saw.
Yeah,
like, that's
that's
the feeling I had when I saw Matrix.
Yes.
It was like, okay, now I believe we have flying down.
Yeah.
You know. So.
But there was a scene in Looper.
Looper's great.
In the movie Looper, where they catch the kid that couldn't kill his you know that they so at some point you're gonna get a job.
No, I haven't seen Looper.
Oh well, then
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
I don't care.
So you know,
I just want to throw up if we're gonna spoil stuff. Just throw up that word.
Yeah, there's a spoiler for Looper. So
anyway.
There's this kid that at some point, you know, they travel in time and they have to do jobs in like they get hired to go back in time, kill somebody, and then come back to the future.
Yeah.
So there will be a moment in which they will be sent to kill the older version of themselves.
Yeah.
So just to close the loop. That's why it's like you know. And this kid, there was a kid that couldn't do it. He couldn't kill his other version, the other version of it. So then the syndicate or whatever, whoever was controlling them, starts looking for him in the past and captures him. And then what they do is that to capture the guy in the future, they take the kid from the past, they start torturing him and start cutting his limbs.
Yeah.
And then
they cut a message into his arm.
They put a message
like,
they cut a message in his arm, and then the future him looks at them, like starts seeing the message as a scar, and then he starts losing limbs. He's walking, and then one leg goes away, the arm goes away, the nose goes away, and they're just torturing the kid in the back. And then as it's happening, he starts losing until
it's like correcting.
Yeah, exactly, it's like correcting. But I thought that was, I know it's not possible, but you know.
I gotta say, in that movie, like, there's a shot in that movie that has stuck with me. It's when he like first does whatever drugs they're doing. They're like taking drugs, and the camera's like parallel to Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and it just slowly clocks around upside down, and it's such a simple camera move, but it has such a cool effect on camera where it just like turns. He literally turns the world upside down to sort of convey the drug that he's on.
Yeah.
And there's a few cool camera moves in that movie. Rian Johnson's a really good director.
It's the same guy that did Brick, isn't it?
Yeah. And
Brick.
he's doing.
I love Brick.
Brick's
one of
great.
my favorite movies.
Yeah, just the way they talk is so wonderful.
Oh yeah, it's
everything.
just like
everything.
Yeah.
It's like High School Mafia.
Yeah,
exactly.
What it is.
It's such a good
It's
match.
so
Too
great.
generous mixing one. You know, it's the speaking part of one genre with you know.
You know, he's doing Star Wars 8.
Oh,
he's directing. He's writing 8 and 9, and he's directing 8.
Oh wow.
And he's talented, so like, I'm excited. Those have me excited about.
That's a huge thing.
That a lot.
That is
even without having. And I'm already getting excited about sequels, so I haven't even.
Yeah.
The verdict's not
You
even
see
in.
The first one,
Right? It's a bad idea. I just like the people behind it, and I like him. He hasn't done that many things, but they're good. what he has done
Yeah.
is good. So
I'll have to check out Loopers. I haven't seen that.
yeah,
Looper is, I mean, it's a good movie. It's not like
It's well made.
fantastic.
It's not like
I mean,
amazing.
Yeah, no, it's not. But but it's entertaining to watch.
it has
one
some cool
time.
concepts in it, and there's some stuff that we didn't spoil. That it's very
Yeah.
much worth watching.
Yeah, yeah.
That
yeah.
actually wasn't a big spoiler. I thought you were gonna,
I mean, yeah,
because that happens really early in the movie.
because it's just one
It was
thing.
cool, though,
It's
yeah.
just one thing that sticks with you. You know, like it stuck with me to see that, and I go like, oh, this is an interesting thing that I haven't seen in other movies. You know, I feel it was original. The same thing that like sometimes catchphrases stuck with you. You know, like
Yeah.
life is about it's like about chocolate.
Yeah.
Really,
Are
is
we
it
gonna-
or is not?
The analogy
open.
works. You don't know what you're gonna get if you haven't peeked at the list
Like,
of
you know,
the
like if-
chocolates are in the box.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, if you buy Kit Kat, then you're gonna get Kit Kat.
Yeah. But no, like a mixed box of chocolates. Sometimes you get one
Like a
you
classic,
don't like.
a classic
You
box
know?
of chocolate.
Yeah.
A classic box of chocolate.
Yeah.
I just
Well, the
didn't
movie
think,
takes place in the 60s or whatever.
yeah, exactly where that was
Oh,
probably
you
relevant.
managed to swing at Forrest Gump again.
Forrest
I predicted last week that it might end up being our most referenced movie.
Oh,
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
I think
just
Matrix
keeps coming
too.
up.
Matrix keeps coming up too this
Matrix.
week.
Yeah,
Matrix came
and
up a
Matrix
lot.
is another
Yeah,
one that, like, the
Interstellar.
first Matrix was really mind blowing. Like, they were doing things that hadn't been done before, like visually.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, just the opening scene of the Matrix. You want to talk opening scenes?
Yes.
That blew my mind. That opening scene with Trinity, where you don't really know what's going on, and then all of a sudden, she's just kicking people's ass, and they do the pan around thing.
Yeah.
You're just
The
like,
360
what?
shot there, yeah.
We didn't know cameras could do that
Yes.
at that point.
Exactly.
Like, digital effects weren't, like, the quality wasn't high enough to make that completely digital. We didn't know how we did with the camera. Like, it was genius.
Mm-hmm.
That was something that definitely stuck.
Yeah, yeah. That scene
That sticks with you.
I mean, and the whole
360
sequence. Yeah. the
just that whole
sequence. But
opening
the three
sequence.
sequence is like it's a moment in which you see something, you go like, this is history. This is history happening in filmmaking, at least. You know, it's like this is a new thing that
Yeah.
they have tried, and it just like sticks with you. It sticks with you.
I feel like the best film prologues are the ones that, like, do what the Matrix did, where it sets up sort of an expectation of things to come, but also gets it going quickly.
Yeah.
A lot of books do this too. It's a good trick where, like, the very front piece will start big. Like James Bond, they all do this, where, like,
Yeah.
it sets up the expectation, and then the movie can slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a nice
Then it
storytelling
does.
technique.
Yeah.
Then it does, yeah. Like like the opening of Saving Private Ryan. I mean, not the first the D-Day scene.
Yeah, it's the opening.
It's like it's the most accurate or crazy. Like I saw people crying and leaving the theater
Yeah.
with that scene. People that couldn't.
Yeah, there's a lot of stories of
couldn't
people
stand-
leaving the theater.
Yeah, because
People that had been through it or had been through similar.
or just people with a sense of empathy that when you
just
present
felt-
something that is so real, they just can't handle it. I mean, it was really
it's
really
one of the most
graphic.
expensive, like,
Yeah.
scenes ever shot. They had a ton of cameras on it, and it was one of those early examples of the high shutter speed.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
Yes.
like, it became something that became overdone throughout the early 2000s,
Mm-hmm.
but it was one of those early ones where, like, that's the right way to use it. You know,
Yeah,
sort of that
exactly.
shell shock
Exactly.
Yeah.
feeling.
That is the
that
right
it
way.
creates.
That's what you do. Like
Yeah.
that's what you do. That's
A
what you
big
use
problem that, like, not just Hollywood, but, like, art in general has, is that, like, somebody will do something cool like that in the context that it works, and then people will attempt to emulate it. They'll steal the thing, but they won't use it right. So, like, the high shutter speed became really overused, and a lot of times in contexts where
It just didn't
like, it's
make any
unneeded.
sense whatsoever.
Yeah, it's unneeded.
Yeah.
It just makes it more confusing. Where it's like, you know, it helped that it made it confusing in Saving Private Ryan, but that's something that happens a lot, where, like, a technique will get aped, and
And
not quite.
You know, like if
Quite used.
like if you indulge the fact that I go into the animated realm, another scene that's still a pleasure to watch for me. It's still a pleasure to watch for me. It's on Madagascar 3. Interesting enough,
Madagascar
I did
3?
not like and still do not like the first two Madagascars, but the third one I think is brilliant. And then that movie is full of things that appeal to me and like, but the scene, the whole sequence when they are presenting the circus act that they have and they mix all the four character things that they do and they create this spectacle of a circus performance. It was like, to me, it was mind blowing the way that they did the colors, the music that they used, the stunts that the animals do in that series. It just like, for some reason, I mean, I know it's animation, I know anything is possible in animation, but the direction that they took, creating this whole thing and weaving it together was like, it's a whole like when there's a scene where they are trying. Oh, you both haven't seen it. Oh.
I don't care.
You can set up. That's why you're being too vague. Like, and also we don't know if our listeners have.
Yeah, I mean they probably have seen it, but it's a wonderful colorful scene. It's they're supposed to create a new circus act in order to get a circus promoter from the United States to hire them to go into New York.
Yeah.
And they mix certain things like what's it called when
Trapeze?
they trapeze. They meet trapeze with the cannonball. People being shot in a cannonball, and then the tie rope, and then exactly. So they have these different things to the character, and then they mix them all in one single act that starts with a trapeze, then jumps into, like let's say for example, like it starts.
It's like dominoes.
Exactly, it's dominoes effect. Like one thing ties to the other, and at the end they're all doing a single acrobatic act. And it's just so well done. It's just so well done visually and artistically. I think it's colored, and then they use a Katy Perry song that goes like perfectly with it. And I don't know, it just got me. It got me like I started crying.
You cried?
I cried. It was like wonderful to watch.
Was it trying to make you cry?
To me, no, I don't think so. But I just like it was wonderful. Like I saw it and I go like, this makes beautiful. It made me happy. It just made me happy. I'm a cry. I like crying.
Aww.
Crying is good. It makes you feel
okay.
human.
It's okay.
I know.
There's I mean, you got me thinking about just kind of a little more out there things that I've seen in movies that have stuck. There's a movie that not a lot of people have seen in the United States. It did pretty well in Europe, actually, called Perfume.
Oh, Perfume.
Oh, Love Story.
Yeah, the
Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah,
I've seen that.
You guys seen Perfume?
Yeah.
It didn't do crazy
in
well. You saw it in the theater.
Yeah, I love that movie.
It's a beautiful movie. I love the way he portrays smell.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's such a cool thing. Because the movie's all about, for those watching or listening that don't know, not really spoilers.
Some people might not have seen it.
No, but I'm not spoiling it. I'm just informing.
Semi-spoiler.
Something like that. Hashtag semi-spoilers.
You see?
But
you haven't.
He like smells things, and then they go like flashing to these very gorgeously shot close-ups, and it's just some of the best cinematography you'll find.
Oh, so just like if it's a rose, then they just show you the rose, only the rose, like.
Because he'll be in the city and he'll smell things, and he'll just like show you these flashes of the different things that he's smelling. Because it's such a tricky thing. How do you deal with smell in a movie? There's a movie about a guy who can smell things really well, and how do you make that visually interesting? Well, it turns out it can be really visually interesting.
Really well done.
And visually, it's such a striking movie, and it has one of the most memorable endings around. Like, I've shown it to a number of people.
Just the concept in general, you're like, huh. All right,
I've shown it to a number of people.
But it's really another way.
Yeah, I've shown it to a number of people, and they're always like, people have very different reactions to it, but it always sticks with you. It's
it was one of those movies, like you said, that didn't hit big here, but like it's a really good movie.
It's a really
good movie.
Really, really, really good.
Highly recommend Perfume.
Well, I mean, they do something similar in Ratatouille. Remember when they're trying to explain how the combination of flavors can make a better flavor, and then they do it with color and music, and then he tries something, it's a color and a note. It's so well done. I mean, it's creative. That's the thing. It's just creative in a way that explains it in a very interesting and a way that anybody could understand it. I think it's wonderful.
Well, because you also know, like John said, you see a picture of a rose or a video of a rose, and you go, "Oh, I know what a rose smells like."
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you're getting all those references visually in your memory.
Yeah, and some of the best just inserts, like shooting inserts, it's an art of itself, you know.
It is,
and they're some of the best. And Tarantino's very good at it.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with that.
You know, that's like he always has to include them. A lot of times, very arbitrarily, but they always look great. So it's easy to forgive, because sometimes it's, an insert is usually supposed to be something important, And he likes to throw them in just for like coffee mugs or
Yeah.
just something random.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, but they look great, so
So why not?
why not?
Closing
Use
comments?
What are we doing? It's been a fun week.
Yeah.
It's definitely been a fun week, but we have a question for him now.
Yeah, we have a question.
We have a
For every-
question
for every
you,
guest.
for every guest.
Uh-oh.
The question is,
Are you?
are you more
No.
famous than Jose's dog?
Are you more famous than my dog?
No.
Are
No.
you?
Definitely not.
No, no,
How
no.
famous are you? You're not even gonna try. You're
I'm
not even gonna try and
I'm
give an
not even
argument?
gonna argue it. Because
And
your
and-
dogs are ridiculously famous.
It's like
And the
they're
fact
minor
that-
celebrity.
That one night we went to the ATM like 6 blocks from his apartment. He's like, "Oh, I'll bring the dogs with me." And there must have been like 14 people that stopped to pet the dogs. He's like, "Oh, go check them out on Instagram." And then they're all on Instagram checking out his dogs. Yeah.
One day,
Popular.
we'll
I
get
am definitely not
get
anywhere
somebody.
near as famous as your dogs.
we get somebody. I mean, and the only way to test it is just like. But you are taking a break from social media, so
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's not the
that's-
only way. Like, you know, if you had arguments towards your fame, we would include them. But
Well, I'm a person. Does that help?
Are you?
no.
Does that make me a little
Are
better
you?
than your dogs?
It just makes
I
you a
have
little
Do you
more
have a-
evolved.
Do you have a great nickname?
I have
Your
less
Papa
pictures than your dogs.
Your
So
Papa Pichon.
I'm
Right.
not as what's the word I'm looking for? Narcissistic as your animals.
My dog is so nice. My dogs are so narcissistic. They have so many pictures of themselves.
Yeah.
So
Especially the
many
girl,
dog
especially-
selfies.
Especially
Violet.
Violet.
She's so cute. She's a
She's-
firecracker. She like I don't know. She's difficult.
She's
but,
the
you know,
attention.
Yeah. Yeah.
She wants.
Oh,
She
she needs
needs
it so much. She has such separation
She's the narcissistic
issues,
one.
anxieties, like separation anxiety. Like
Every
you can't
time I
even
go to your
the
house,
bathroom.
she's just like, "Oh my god!"
Yes, she's like
Oh my
all over
God.
the place. And if you give Ludwig attention, she just jump and bite his face.
I love Ludo. He's
She
turned
bites
into
his
such
face.
a chill.
She like the poor
He's
thing.
so chill.
Yeah.
He seems like a really old dog, but
He's an old
not
soul.
that dog. He's not
an
that
old
old.
soul. I think
But
that
he's just so chill. He's got that old personality.
He's
But he's the
stoic
best.
also. He's super
I'm like,
stoic.
get away from me, Violet. You're too. You want the attention too much.
Yeah. A little attention
She
whore.
she took what he likes, so it happens.
Maybe one day, if I see you guys in the future, I will be more famous than your dogs.
Maybe
Yeah.
we'll
We're
someday.
we're trying to keep Turtle Bat Pig's fame going,
We'll
so
find,
that it's
yeah.
like, you know, it's a
keeps
it's a
growing.
shifting goal. It's a shifting.
It keeps
goal.
growing. It keeps growing.
The next time you come on, we'll ask you again and see if.
Let's see if anything has
So
Yeah,
changed.
okay.
so far, Turtle Bat Pig is 2-0.
2-0.
2-0, more famous,
And the
undefeated,
guest.
undefeated so far. Right.
So
All right.
that's it for this week.
Yeah, thank you for tuning in this week. I hope you had fun. Let us know. Leave a comment at just the traditional hashtag Dreaming in Paradox. If you have any comments, please, give us a little bit of review. It's been a couple weeks now. Do you like the games? Do you like,
What's your favorite part?
what kinds of topics
What
do you
can
like
we
best?
do more?
What don't you like? And we'll do more of that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feedback would be
Sure.
nice if you're watching. If anyone is out there. We're not just talking to ourselves.
It could be. It could.
You never know.
Who knows?
Hopefully our subscriptions don't go down.
we'll have
Right.
a special DVD.
We're still trying to reach 500 as far as I know.
Yeah. We're growing.
It's a
It's
good goal.
growing. It's growing.
Cool.
It's growing.
Yeah, it's our goal. 500. Because then we can get the URL.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Which is what we want.
so many people have whatever URL they want because they got in before the door closed on that.
Now's
And now it's like, now they make you work for it. And
But
it's
that's good.
I feel like,
I agree with that.
yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, because otherwise, then you have people like hoarder these URLs to sell them later or stuff like that, and then it's like that's not
Yeah.
Like
Or,
work it.
they steal them and then don't use them.
exactly.
And then you're like,
And then
oh.
it's just like lost there. I know. Then you have
It's
to pay
sad.
them for it.
But
That one.
subscribe, share,
Yes.
comment. You can find us on iTunes as well. If you just want to listen, want to take us with you on the
If you're
road,
driving, yeah. You
We're
wanna
good
have
for that.
Company
you
is
know,
definitely a good thing.
join us.
But why you wouldn't want to see these adorable faces is beyond me.
It's beyond Papa Johnny because he's a papa.
All right. I'm at John in Paradox.
I'm Jose. I'm at Jose in Paradox.
This is at Papa Piccioni.
Piccioni.
Right? He's on Periscope,
Instagram.
Instagram also.
Yes.
Get on it.
Thanks,
Yep.
guys.
Have a
We'll
good
see you
weekend.
next week.
Adios.